Hello and welcome to AdaPulse, the channel that brings you all the news and all the proposals that are in and around the Cardano ecosystem. Now, before we go on, please do remember to like, share, subscribe to our content, hit that bell notification so you get notified as soon as we've got content available, and leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. We want to interact with you. And remember, you can further support us by delegating your ADA to either Swag, Zod, or myself, ATM. Now, today we're talking about the Basho era as it progresses with the Vasil Hard Fork. Now, this is an article by LiberLion and as usual can be found on the AdaPulse website if you prefer to look at it in text. And all the other articles that we don't necessarily make videos for are up there too, so do check out the website. Now, I'm Josh from ATM. Let's go with this. The Basho era is the scalability in Cardano. You can read about Basho in an article published back in February, which was also by LiberLion, the Basho era scalability for Cardano 2022. I also did a fantastic video, which can be found in our channel too. So, scaling is speed, performance, and cost in the operation of a system. It's crucial for any blockchain if it wants to maintain growth and competitiveness. Cardano's current protocol, Ouroboros Praos, needs to work fast enough to run the myriad of decentralized applications now being implemented or soon be launched on Cardano. In a blog post on February 28th, IOG explained what changes we could expect to see in June and October hard fork events. Our February release is just the start. Throughout 2022 and focused around the June and October hard fork combinator events, let's say HFC from now on, we will introduce an array of scaling enhancements. These include key elements of our scaling plan like pipelining, new Plutus SIPs, UTXO on-disk storage, and Hydra. In combination with parameter adjustments, these features will enhance Cardano's throughput and optimize the system to accommodate an increasing range of decentralized finance, DeFi apps, smart contracts, and DEXs. So, today I will tell you about the Vasil Hard Fork, which corresponds to this era and is scheduled for June 29th, according to this IOHK tweet. The hard fork got its name because Hoskinson decided to honor a recently deceased prominent member of the Cardano community, Vasil Dabov, who was a Cardano ambassador and blockchain consultant. I actually had communications with him in my early days of being a stake pool operator. Some of you may know that my pool got its name as I wanted to buy and install a load of Cardano ATM machines, and I was in talks with Vasil as he was the CEO of Quantable, who were developing these machines. The main thing I remember of him was him saying, not yet. So when I say I haven't done this or I've never been there, his response was always, not yet. And, you know, that was a cool way of looking at things. Anyway, I dropped this idea as it didn't solve the problem I was trying to solve, but I kept the name. Unfortunately, to many, I'm now known as the Ass to Mouth guy. But, yeah, I'm cool with that. Back to being serious, I just wanted to play this little clip of Charles Hoskinson paying tribute to him because it's quite nice, and do check out the full video, which I'll post below. So RIP Vasil Dabov.
So farewell, my friend. You were a good one to all of us, and you will be missed. And because of the technology we've built, forever remembered. Cheers.
What is a hard fork? The first thing we need to explain what a hard fork is. A hard fork is an update to the consensus rules in the context of blockchain technology. In some situations, this event could produce a fork in the network in different blockchains with different nodes. That is a division of the network due to dissent in the community of validators and developers. Among other well-known examples, this happened with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash due to a disagreement on increasing blockchain size or block size. In the case of Cardano, the hard fork is not in danger of splitting the blockchain. It's not a traumatic event because it's scheduled to implement improvements directed by the developer company, IOG, with the technology of the hard fork combinator, created for this purpose and is used to execute a smooth and frictionless transition in network activity. As a pool owner, there are non-events. Nothing happens. I don't need to do anything. All I need to do is be on top of keeping my pool code up to date, like you would with any software. So Cardano successfully ran 4 hard forks: Shelly in July 2020, Allegra December 2020, Mary March 21, and Alonzo, which is the most recent, in September 21. There are also soft forks, which are events that do not involve radical changes in the consensus rules to maintain compatibility between update nodes and nodes running like older software. At the beginning of February, John Woods, director of Cardano architecture at IOG, shared a post explaining pipelining, the main improvement to be implemented with the Vasil Hard Fork. John Woods said, "Pipelining is one of the key elements that will support Cardano's scalability this year. Combined, all of these changes will enable greater network flexibility capabilities as the ecosystem grows, making Cardano faster than its competitors and a highly competitive platform for decentralized finance later this year." The improvements that are projected in Cardano are related to the size of the block, since the larger the block, the more transactions and scripts it can carry. More computational resources will be allocated for a script to run more efficiently, with Plutus memory limits, the amount of memory available for a Plutus script to run, and Plutus CPU limits. Enhancements coming to Plutus in June. The scalability of the Basho era consists of several enhancements. Along with parameter tweaks and node updates, Plutus's capability continues to develop at a steady pace. If you didn't know already, Plutus is the native smart contract language for Cardano. It is a Turing complete language written in Haskell, and Plutus smart contracts are effectively Haskell programs. It is a living and evolving smart contract language created by IOHK. Cardano Improvement Proposals, or CIP, or CIP, is a proposal that anyone can suggest on Cardano, which is formally submitted to the Cardano Foundation's GitHub, encouraging community participation. So 2 CIPs, CIP 31, reference inputs, and CIP 33, reference scripts for implementation on Cardano during Vasil on Plutus improvements, which will boost the performance of decentralized applications, or dApps as they're called, decentralized finance, DeFi, RealFi, the products, smart contracts, and exchanges that are created and operated on Cardano. CIP 31, reference inputs, introduce a new mechanism for accessing information in datums, so a reference input. Reference inputs allow you to look at an output without spending it. So this will make it easier to access information stored on the blockchain without the need to spend and recreate unspent transaction outputs. So that's UTXOs to most people. The CIP 31 will also allow the other key improvements. The reference script of CIP 33, by which reference inputs and outputs that carry real scripts will be used. The script referencing approach eliminates sending frequently used scripts to the chain each time they're used. So the script will be persistently available on chain. This means that the transaction using the script does not need to include the script itself, as long as it references the output that contains it. Pipelining will bring higher speed to Cardano. Pipelining is an enhancement to the consensus layer, which will streamline the flow of Cardano network, facilitating faster block propagation, enabling even greater gains in free space, bringing further increase in the performance of the network and the competitiveness of Cardano. Currently, a block goes through 6 steps as it moves up the chain. So check this out. So 1, block header transmission. 2, block header validation. 3, block body request and transmission. 4, block body validation and local chain extension. 5, block header transmission to downstream nodes, and 6, block body transmission to downstream nodes. Pipelining overlaps some of those steps, well, like one on top of the other, so that they happen simultaneously to save time while increasing performance. One of the design principles behind pipelining is to achieve faster block propagation, avoiding harsh chain changes for full backwards compatibility, adding a new mini protocol whose job it is to pre-notify nodes when a new block is seen before full validation. This saves a lot of time because it drastically reduces the time it takes to validate a block in multiple steps. Increasing performance, though, always comes with risks. Could broadcast pipelining affect the security of the consensus layers? The quick answer is no, as the consensus layer is not affected by this change. Consistent blocks are always valid. Since the block leader validates the new block and thus the chain to which it will be added, so incomplete blocks will not propagate. Complete but invalid blocks, while possibly propagating through the network, will always be discarded by honest nodes after body validation. Regarding denial of service, so that's DOS attacks to most, attacks at the network layer, which consists of the attacker trying to congest the system by broadcasting invalid blocks. And it will be countered by the correct block slot leader, which is then verified. We should also add that stake pool operators that generate invalid blocks can be easily identified and punished. In fact, a violation management system is currently being developed to perform exactly this function. Final words. The Cardano 360 event took place on the 24th of February. IOG announced that it was working on developing new products and features, from our dApp store, a new light wallet product, to the fast synchronization solutions in Mithril and sidechains. The commitment and dedication of the community was also praised, which has contributed to the consolidation of a decentralized and robust ecosystem through the development of new dApps, services, websites, tools, and APIs. 4 days later, in a post on its website, IOG explained that the focus in 2022 is the HFC events in June with Vasil and another in October, where a series of scalability improvements will be presented, among which there are essential elements for scalability such as pipeline and new Plutus SIP for Vasil and UTXO disk storage and Hydra for the next hard fork. And that's it for today. Remember, as always, the full article can be found on the AdaPulse website, along with a whole host of other articles. So it is worth checking out. Remember the links that I'll be including below, including the quite touching tribute to Vasil Dabov from Charles. So do check out that whole video, because he goes into a lot, and there's a lot of things about Vasil that you probably didn't know. So do check that out. But so like I said, that's the end. As usual, like, share, subscribe, and they've got a big button there. You can hit the button, but don't forget to hit that bell notification as well. And as always, you can further support us by delegating your ADA to either Swag, Zod, or ATM. Now, I'm Josh from ATM Stake Pool, and that's it for today. Thank you.